The Mystara project is proud to present part 22 of the Places of Mystara series. In this video we take a look at the Alphatian town of Adiach. Adiach was introduced in the 1989 Dawn of the Emperor's boxed set, on the fold-out map of the continent of Alphatia. The town is located in the central Alphas River Valley region, in the Kingdom of Haven, in southwestern Alphatia. The Alphas River is navigable from the bridge near Adiach to its mouth in the Arslan Gulf. Adiach lies on a road that commences in the capital of Arslan and terminates at the border town of Warzazath. A trail from Adiach leads to Dovir and beyond to Alphatian, on the eastern edge of the Arslan Spur Mountains. Farmland surrounds the town and extends about 170 miles to the northeast. The town lies at the cool temperate latitude of 51 degrees north of the equator, which would be the equivalent of London or Calgary on Earth. The predominant wind comes from the southwest, and Haven is known for being a sunny kingdom, protected from cold winds by the Kerathar and Arslan Spur Mountains. Very little other specific information is provided about the town. Adiach was likely founded not long after the origin of Arslan, by common Alphatian farmers fleeing discrimination from the pure Alphatian Emperor Kerathar I. According to Bruce Hurd's blog on Haven, Adiach has a population of 5,700, marginally qualifying it as a large town. The road that passes through the town is called the Pardadur, and the bridge to the west is called the Entrouchard. These are dancing references found throughout Haven's roads, which were renamed after AC 730 due to the popularity of Mila Tyndall's beautification philosophy. Adiach lies in the northeast of the region referred to as the Austral Sweep, that covers the lands west of the Arslan Spur Mountains. The vast majority of the population are likely to be common Alphatians. Some open-minded pure Alphatians may live in the town. A small number of Shire elves may live in the town, but most of their kin scorn human settlements. A few demi-humans from the kingdom of Stoutfellow to the northwest may be found in town, however, only spellcasting demi-humans or adventurers would likely risk being subjected to Alphatian commoner law by leaving Stoutfellow. Although there are dwarf clerics, they prefer to keep their spellcasting secret, so they are unlikely to try to prove they are aristocrats to outsiders. Whilst high-level Hin can become spellcasting masters, they cannot regain spells outside the 5 shires. Gnomes, on the other hand, can become Wakani and shamans, and are not necessarily secretive about it. So they are the most likely representatives of Stoutfellow to be in Adiach. The town owes fealty to the Kingdom of Haven, currently ruled by Queen Crindilia, a 36th-level cleric of Cagyar the Artisan. She pays little attention to Adiach, and would only react if art was being damaged, or if the food supply to Arslan was interrupted. One member of the Imperial Grand Council, Thalanir the Rainmaker, resides in a tower on the outskirts of town. When not attending to Grand Council business in Sundsvall, he spends time casting spells to assist local farming. Although he has no official capacity in the town's rulership, he is very influential, and was the former master of many of the town's wizards. Queen Crindilia has appointed Lady Ceressa and her romantic partner Lord Valmorin as her delegated town rulers. They are the highest-level magic users in town, apart from their former master, the Rainmaker. Ceressa is 14th level and Valmorin is 13th. Apart from the occasional ceremonial duty, or agriculture-enhancing spellcasting activity, they leave the running of the town to their steward servant. Steward Halden Maris is a competent normal human administrator. He is efficient, diplomatic, and in the good favor of merchants. He oversees tax and toll collection, roads, and guild relations. The most common character classes in town are magic users and fighters. There are some thieves, a few clerics, and a few families of elves and spellcasting gnomes. Other character classes have no real training options locally. Dwarfs and halflings would probably have to travel at least 216 miles to Denwarf Hergen for training. Alphatian adventuring careers usually commence during ages 14 to 16. That is when children learn the principles of magic, either at a prestigious school costing thousands of crowns a year, a lower quality school where the student must work for their education, or homeschooling if a parent is capable. Wealthier families send their children to boarding school in Arslan or Sundsvall. Lower quality schools only support learning to 3rd level. At the end of their 1 year of study they learn the read magic spell and one other. They are then tested for magical ability. Those that pass become first-level magic users and are apprenticed. Children of nobles who fail to show magical ability are often sent to the temples to be educated and join the clergy. The temples provide a good quality education at a cost of 50 to 500 crowns per year, depending on the school's quality. Free education may be offered to promising students. Clerics are treated as gentry until they are able to cast their first spell. Alphatians do not follow immortals as enthusiastically as other peoples, so their temples are not well attended. The most followed immortal is Alphatia, who, when mortal, founded the kingdom of Haven itself. She is patroness of the Alphatian Empire, beautiful art, pacifism, and healing. Razud is the next most venerated immortal, the only current immortal of the pantheon to predate landfall on Mystara. He is the patron of self-sufficiency, and is popular among the local farmers. A smaller proportion joined the temple of Koryis, patron of peace and prosperity. Fighter adventurers start off as servants, requiring their master's permission to adventure. Once they have earned 1,500 crowns or more, they can afford to set up their own business by paying the annual registration fee and renting a small office. Weapons training is available via the town militia or private tutors. Normal and short swords, rapiers, daggers, spears, longbows, crossbows, pikes, and lances can be studied and mastered. In addition to the dagger, magic users can learn mastery in staves and slings. Leather armor is common, as it is supported by the local tannery district. Chain mail is used by elite troops, and is often imported from stout fellow. Elite troops also ride war horses. As there are no thieves' guilds on continental Alphatia, thief characters will be apprenticed to a more senior partner. Thieves start out as servants, like fighters. Their master could be their senior thief partner, who would provide their training and organize jobs for them to perform. Gnomish spellcasters effectively begin adventuring as fighters, apprenticed to a shaman or Warkani. To be a spellcasting gnome, they require a minimum of 13 intelligence for Warkani and 14 wisdom for shamans. They also need minimum scores of 8 for dexterity and 6 for constitution to be gnomes. After gaining 3,000 experience points, they may undertake a ritual of passage to become either a shaman or a Warkani. The ritual involves fasting, meditation, concentration exercises and intense studying. Shamans must craft a glittering faceted crystal holy symbol of Garel Glitterlode, the creator of the gnomish race. The ritual is passed by making a successful spellcasting prime requisite check. A -2 bonus is available if they are guided through the ritual by a tutor for Warkani and a servant of Garel Glitterlode for shamans. It is likely that Alphatians class these gnomish spellcasters in training in the same manner as they do human clerics. They are treated as gentry until they can cast a spell. In addition to the standard Alphatian magic user spells, Adiach wizards have developed magic to assist farming. Growth of crops is a non-reversible variant of the 4th level growth of plants spell. Instead of causing all plants in the area of effect to grow in a tangled fashion, it only affects one type of plant to grow in its natural direction. The spell also has an increased area of effect of 1 square mile, and is a 5th level spell. Other spells focus on soil quality, weed removal, removing parasites from animals, and insecticide that only harms insects. Magic users are usually taught general skills such as engineering, magical engineering, alternate magics, knowledge of agriculture, alchemy, planar geography, and artisanship. Clerics are taught ceremony of their chosen immortal as a mandatory 1st level skill. Shi'er elves spend their childhood gaining the tree walking and forest survival skills. Commoner characters may have learnt the hardball dexterity-based skill by playing the sport in their childhood. Gnomes learn at least 2 of the following skills in their childhood: fantasy physics, machine building, one of the science skills, or one of the knowledge skills. Alphatian is the common tongue. Humans often learn Elvish, Dwarvish or Gnomish as additional languages. The town of Adiach is surrounded by farmland, where wheat and barley are grown, and beef cattle graze. Grain is taken to the farmers' district in the southwest, where there is a market, a mill and granaries. The town produces large surpluses of grain, which are exported mainly to Arsla and Stout Fellow. Throughout Haven, Bread costs 13 copper judges per 100 coin of loaf. The temple district lies in the west, with buildings dedicated to Alphatia, Razud, and a smaller one to Koryis. The artisans' quarter lies in the northwest. It contains the important Textiles Guildhall, which deals with the cloth that the town is famous for. The Stoutfellow Trading House is located here, headed up by the gnomish Wakani, Gorim Ironspike. Trade goods from Stoutfellow find their way here for the armorers and smiths of the quarter to work with. Simple elegant jewels are also crafted here by a Shia elven family. Just inside the northern gate is the Merchants District, featuring a caravan yard and the Merchants Guildhall. Adiach is an E-class settlement where 1 to 3 merchants can be found to buy or sell a 2 to 12 loads of a particular type of good each within the first week of its availability. Inns, such as the fine Silver Sheaf and the modest Drover's Gate, provide accommodation. Taverns and gambling halls include the classy Golden Loom, the scholarly Rainmaker's Rest and the rowdy Hardball Horn. The latter features bands of musicians playing songs that express some angst at being commoners, dancing, dice games, card games, and hardball betting. The Tanner's Quarter lies in the northeast, downwind from the rest of town. Here, hides from slaughtered cattle are treated and then crafted into leather goods, including armor. In the east is the town park and the town's arena, which is home to the Adiach Weavers hardball team, and hosts jousting tournaments, spellcaster duels, and other major events. The Wizards' Quarter in the south of town contains a library, a school, magic shops, a theatre, and aristocrat residences. The town centre features a water fountain surrounded by market stalls. To the east there is the town hall, the courthouse, the militia barracks for 150 standing troops and the jail. To the west is the Imperial Government Office, where businesses and slaves are registered, and taxes are paid. Per capita, Haven Knights earn 113 copper judges a month, 17 of which are paid in tax. 3 banks have branches to the south, the Bank of Alphatia, the Imperial Bank and the Gold Crown Bank. Tenement houses of the less well-off commoners are located next to the Tanner's Quarter. Outside the town walls to the east is the Skyship Airfield, and to the southeast is the Rainmaker's Tower. Pardadur Road and Winred Trail are kept in good condition by slave workers and magic. Adiach uses the Alphatian calendar. In addition to the standard Alphatian days of importance, the locals conduct a spring ceremony. The rain-calling ceremony involves the populace gathering to witness Grand Councillor Thalanir's summoning of the year's first storm on the 21st of Alphamir. The cloth fair on the 28th of Nixmir attracts buyers from across Alphatia. There are 2 levels of laws that are in effect in the town: Imperial law and laws of the Kingdom of Haven. Imperial law defines the social classes and how people can move between them, including succession laws. It sets out imperial taxes and their collection. It prohibits the wearing of spider silk by non-nobles. It requires Grand Council members to be limited to 1,000 of the most powerful Alphatian magic users who are willing to serve. It requires the Emperor or Empress to be a human Alphatian magic user. Disputes between magic users are to be settled via supervised duels, to avoid a repeat of Alphax's folly that led to the war that destroyed old Alphatia. Slaves must be registered at a declared value from the age of 12. The monarch of Haven must be a spellcaster. Monarchs may conquer other kingdoms, but may rule only one kingdom unless they are also the emperor or empress. Subdivision of a kingdom into 2 kingdoms requires imperial approval. Worship of Alphax is illegal. Haven's punishments tend to be a bit more lenient than other kingdoms. Low justice applies to commoners, and the more forgiving high justice applies to nobles. Crimes against nobles carry greater punishments than crimes against commoners. Punishment for theft or fraud increases in proportion to the value stolen. Willful destruction of art in Haven by a noble carries a fine to cover the court costs, and the cost of restoring the destroyed art. If a commoner destroys art, the cost is 10 times the amount of the noble's fine. Punishments take the form of fines, lashes, confiscation of property, demotion of social class, temporary confiscation of spellbooks, permanent feeble-minding of intelligence-based casters, and death. The accused is presumed innocent, unless the evidence suggests otherwise. ESP is used in criminal cases resulting in swift and accurate judgments on almost all occasions. Adiach presents as a town a bit larger than Threshold, that could be used as a base town for a campaign. The Hardball Horn Gambling Hall is a popular spot for adventurers to meet. 4 basic adventures, undead, wizards' pets and low-level constructs, could be encountered in, or under towers, or under the town itself. There could be a small cult of Alphax to be dealt with. A valuable enchanted loom could vanish from the Textiles Guildhall. The PCs become detectives, charged with finding and retrieving it. The adventurers could meet recurring NPCs, such as a couple of the town guards, tutors, some minor priests and the steward Halden Maris. Depending on PC actions, these people could become allies, enemies, or indifferent. An enemy aristocrat could try to bring criminal charges against one of the non-noble PCs. Whilst the court's ESP is likely to save an innocent party, having at least one noble ally as a backup would be crucial if the ESP revealed some questionable thoughts. When the characters graduate to expert level, they can broaden their horizons and travel the relatively safe farmlands of Haven to seek more challenging environments. Bandits could be attacking caravans on the Pardadur Road from an abandoned farmhouse base. The Arsla Spur foothills, known as the Rainbow Mounds, lie 32 miles to the east. The peaks and hills of the Kerithar Mountains lie about 32 miles to the west. Perhaps missions to these elevated areas could be of importance to the authorities of Adiach, reflecting favorably on the PCs if they complete them. They could harbor agricultural saboteurs, causing crops and livestock to die. At 9th level, magic user characters might think about calling on their friends for a barn raising, to build a tower, in or near the town. Through the magic user, the PCs could be increasingly drawn into the politics of the town, and come to the attention of Queen Crindilia. At companion level, the adventurers could be caught up in the wrath of the Immortals' War, participate in a tourney at the arena, journey to the inner planes, and perhaps become more involved in town politics, as their magic user is appointed by the Queen to run Adiach. At Master's level, recurring enemy rivalries should be resolved, possibly by duels, outer planes can be explored, and clues on achieving immortality can be discovered. This concludes our look at the inland Alphatian town of Adiach, set among the rolling farmland of the Alphas Valley.